Angry tenant claims landlord only returned $3 of his security deposit despite there being no damage to the home.
Your Honor, our security deposit was $2,645, and the landlord kept $2,622.
So he refunded you how much?
Less, $3 or less.
Okay, so just so I'm clear, Mr. Wolf, you moved in, you lived there 2 years, you paid $26.45, and he kept all but $3. You have no photos of before, no photos of after.
Your Honor, I took photos through the app that was provided when they asked me to. I didn't save them separately.
Do you have those photos?
I can look back and find them, Your Honor, if I do. But I have photos of inside of our house during the time period. But again, I want to just...
why you live there. It's only important when you start and when you end. Whole, like, you could have burned down a wall and replaced it in the 2 years. For the purposes of your deposit, it is the ending. So you have no functional proof of before or after I have testimony.
Your Honor, I don't have any photos, but I would just reference the actual itemization of what was taken from the deposit. Does not reference any damages. It's even itemized as make ready.
We're going to take a look at it.
Yes.
Well, I'm just in the beginning, though. What I'm saying is that as the plaintiff, as the tenant, you have no proof of what it was like when you got it, and you have no proof of what it was like when you gave it back. Yes.
I didn't keep any personal photos. The photos.
Mr. Wolf, as a tenant, if you're renting, as a landlord, if you're renting to someone else, it is a good idea to take historical photographic evidence, because words do not prove the evidence. But if someone says it was damaged, the damage and the extent of it is going to tell me in a photo way more. So what I'm getting from you, Mr. Wolf, is that you believe the itemization is improper. So we're going to take a look at that. But just
yes,
in photos, none of that.
My point is only that they didn't allege any damages. So inside of the itemization report, there is no damages. It is all related to cleaning and make ready.
Okay.
So that's why I if I found it was relevant to the case that there were damages, then I would have searched and provided these photos. But in fact, everything is related to just standard make ready services. It's even itemized as make ready.
You've already shown me an invoice that says make ready. And certainly for the first 340, none of that looks like it might be something to be charged. But I don't know. I haven't heard from Mr. Gupta. He may have for me a wonderful set of photos that completely changes what I'm hearing. And I don't know. That's why I asked you early on, do you have any photos to demonstrate for me what you said was living in a reasonable, normal way? Because what people think is a reasonable, normal way, I will be realistic, is right anywhere from it's a big variance. So that's why I always ask for photos up front, because they are much more helpful than dirty. Well, how dirty? I don't know if you were listening to the case before. How scratched was that dining room table? People have different opinions about it. So when I look at this one, I see that they're charging you things. Some of this, maybe not, right? Mr. Gupta's going to have to show me that it was reasonable to charge you for this, because just as written, it begs the question. I don't know. And then on this one, other things they charged you for. Trashed Amazon box, items removed and closet was cleaned, removed personal items. So a lot of what I'm seeing is that they say there were items left behind. And so, Mr. Wolf, my question is, did you remove any and all items from the premises, or did you leave behind some stuff?
I think there may have been some small minor things left behind, like like what they're saying, right? An Amazon box, right? Is that $340 to put an Amazon box in the trash can?
You'd be amazed. I saw a landlord charge $50 to replace a light bulb because the person they paid to do it charged them that much. Like, I'm not going out there for $5.
In this case, they're paying themselves, and I think that
that's also not improper if they had to actually do it, right? Yeah, see the hood vent. These are all pretty basic stuff, guys. I see a lot of these. Oh, dishwasher. I will say this: lots and lots and lots of photos from the management company, which is a positive thing, right? Better to have too many than too few. Okay.
1836.
A couple of things left in the fridge.
Yep.
Pilot lights all worked on the gas stove. Stuff in the cabinet. It is what it is. Okay. Stuff under the sink. Okay.
I will say, I'm allowed to talk.
Yes, that's fine, Mr. Cooper.
It might not have to do with it, but all this cleanup also impacts me because they take time to clean it up, and I can't rent it. So I'm just as you know, if that makes sense.
So of the itemization, the invoice says that $1,815 was for damages beyond wear and tear, and $807 was cleaning. right? So these are two different things. The itemization for damages does not include cleaning. And I would say, looking at the photos, I can see the need for cleaning, right? There were some items left behind in the cabinets. There were a few items left in the garage, a couple of Amazon boxes. I could see some of the scuff marks, all of that. I can see the need for some level of cleaning, right? So some cleaning is needed. So the tenant is responsible for cleaning items which are so dirty as to be beyond ordinary wear and tear. The landlord absolutely should expect to have to spend some money to make ready for the property. That is not the tenant's responsibility. Now, the landlord, legally, you don't have to ever clean it. You could literally re-let it to someone. And having worked at the University of Texas, I'll tell you right now, there are plenty of students who would be like, this is great. I love it. It's clean, with carpet from the 60s. So again, we go into that kind of that reasonableness test, right? So the fact that some prepping has to be done is not on the tenant's responsibility, unless the lease assigns it that way. I didn't see anything that said that, right? I have definitely seen that. I see there's in the lease that says you should provide receipts, but there's nothing that says how or when or why to do that. It's just sort of there. And typically what I see is an actual section that says you understand you either have to pay $200 or you can hire any cleaning company if you want, and you need to provide us a receipt on or about the day of the move out, right? I didn't see that in the lease. I just saw a little reference to it and give me a receipt, which I would say does not work for a meeting of the minds. I don't think the tenant understood that they were really supposed to be doing those things. So I give you some for the cleaning. The large majority of the charges, though, the 1815, when I look at what those things are in the breakdown of them, most of those fall under the same realm of like the cleaning. I don't see that there were any damages caused by the defendant, sufficient for the entire deposit to have been gone. So here what I find is that there was $26.45 that was paid, $23 was refunded. I don't find that all of that money was kept properly. I do find that a portion of it was taken for things which would have been covered as ordinary wear and tear, or things which are on the responsibility of the landlord to take care of, because the tenant did nothing beyond, what a reasonable tenant would do over the course of 2 years. So I think what is a reasonable amount to provide for the cleaning, and that would include the cleaning for the cabinets, the removal of the trash, putting back that light, removing that portion of the, you put up a curtain rod, that has to be taken down. And here, for the things that needed to be cleaned, I think $500 would have been a reasonable return for that. And so I would return to the plaintiff today. Let me get my math right, because I just wrote it down and then lost my number. You paid $26.45. So judgment for the plaintiff, $2,145. I'm not going to find in bad faith, though. I think maybe this is one where parties have all done a little bit of learning today. Okay. You have 21 days to appeal. You certainly can. If not, otherwise it becomes judgment for plaintiff, $21.45, and then your cost of court. That's the only thing extra. All right.